Do you dream of success in business, a global lifestyle, or securing a bright future for your family? Dominica's Citizenship by Investment is the path to fulfill your dreams. Access increased global mobility with visa-free travel. Explore new business opportunities. Offer your family a secure and comfortable future. Unleash your potential with Dominica's Citizenship by Investment.
With this, I would like to welcome you again to this webinar titled Planning Your Family's Future with Citizenship by Investment in Dominica, an initiative by economictimes.com by Times of India, sponsored by CS Global Partners. For this, today we have with us Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt is the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. He has been leading this country since 2004, when at the age of 31, he set a world record of being the world's youngest head of government. He is a strong supporter of his country's Citizenship by Investment program, through which he is realizing Dominica's ambition of becoming the world's first ever climate resilient nation. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Pleasure, mine.
Next, we have with us His Excellency Emmanuel Nanthan, Head of Dominica's Citizenship by Investment Unit, a position he has held since 2015. With years of experience in diplomatic and international affairs, His Excellency Emmanuel Nanthan also acts as the Ambassador at Large for Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Prime Minister of Dominica. Welcome, Ambassador.
Good evening to you. Thank you very much for having us. It's my pleasure being here with you. It's always good to talk to the kind people of India.
And we have with us Micah Emmett, CEO of CS Global Partners, a world-leading legal advisory that specializes in intelligent citizenship issues. A dual qualified attorney in South Africa and the United Kingdom, Micah has years of practice in the fields of citizenship, residence, immigration, and foreign investment law. Micah, I can't wait to find out how all the listeners can benefit from your experience. Welcome.
Thank you very much for hosting us here today. And I'd just like to make a special thank you on behalf of CS Global Partners that the Honourable Prime Minister and His Excellency could join us today for the webinar.
With no further delay, let's kickstart this discussion. Micah, nowadays we hear the phrase global citizen a lot. What does it mean, and how can a person from India become a global citizen?
Well, I think being a global citizen transcends geography and borders. So a global citizen essentially embodies and identifies with global perspectives, celebrates cultural diversity, and tends to generally broaden their economic footprint beyond their home country. So the concept of global citizenship over the years has been closely related to the concept of citizenship by investment, because economic citizenship is probably one of the main and most progressive tools to achieving this special status. In respect of Indian nationals are quite active on the global stage. However, as governments become more insular and they impose stricter visa controls, the opportunity to travel and be global and do business globally is considerably hampered. So CBI, Citizenship by Investment, is a wonderful way to reverse that, as it gives the Indian national better access to travel and business opportunities.
Next, we have Dr. the Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. For those who may not have heard of the Commonwealth of Dominica, can you tell us a little bit about your country?
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure being on your program. The Commonwealth of Dominica is an island in the heart of the Caribbean Sea, the chain of islands in the Eastern Caribbean, with a population of about 72,000 inhabitants. We are a member of the Commonwealth. So we have excellent relations with India. We also have excellent relations with the United Kingdom. And of course, entry and attending universities in the United Kingdom is always facilitated by the UK authorities there. And so you can, in fact, travel from Dominica or with a Dominican passport to the United Kingdom without any visa requirement. We also are a respected member of the United Nations, and we are a member of the Caribbean Community, CARICOM, which is a grouping of Caribbean states. We are a law-abiding country. We are established on the rule of law, and Dominica is a very peaceful country. It's a very welcoming country. English is our first language. We do speak a French Creole because of our connections with France and the French territories in the Caribbean. So Dominica is a place of longevity. We have per capita largest number of centenarians, obviously because of our lifestyle, our organic lifestyle, which we promote in our country. So it is a place that is welcoming and a respecter of the rule of law and respect of people's right to property and the free movement of individuals. We also have excellent relations with the United States and Canada, some of our closest neighbors in the north of the Caribbean, but we are an independent country. We gained our independence from the United Kingdom in 1978. Incidentally, we'll be celebrating on the 3rd of November our 42nd anniversary of our independence.
One of the key drivers of the Commonwealth of Dominica's economy is tourism. What makes your nation so attractive to foreigners? We
have branded ourselves, and we've come to be known as the Nature Isle, not only of the Caribbean, but the world. Because we build our tourism industry on the preservation, the conservation, and the protection of the environment. And as a result of this, we have received a number of international accolades from Condé Nast, declaring Dominica as one of the best destinations in the world. We are in the top 5 of scuba diving. We promote whale watching as a tourist attraction. We have natural flora and fauna. We have one of the world's second largest natural boiling lakes, because we also a volcanic territory. We have 365 rivers in our country, waterfalls, hot springs, and also all our hotels, for example, are built around the preservation and the conservation of the environment. And we have seen the expansion of our tourism industry, and we have seen greater interest by discerning tourists and visitors to our country who would like to get away from the hustle and the bustle of their work environment and the countries where they reside. We have also been attracting international brands. We have Europe's oldest brand of hotels, Kempinski Hotel in Dominica. We have a Marriott Hotel under construction. It should be completed next year. Also Hilton, and there are a number of other brands that are showing interest in Dominica. All of these hotels that I've mentioned are approved projects under the Citizenship by Investment program. The other very important thing is that we are a safe country. As Prime Minister, I can walk the streets with no need to have any security. I could drive the streets, no need to have any security. And likewise, any citizen or any visitor to our country. We have a very good health system. So if a tourist were to get himself in any health challenge, we can provide the medical services to this particular visitor. If you're looking for a place to rejuvenate, a place to find yourself again, so to speak, a place to enjoy nature, a place to enjoy tranquility, a country where the rule of law is recognized, a country where that is safe, we can certainly, Dominica is certainly the place to come. And just to give an example, my dear, with COVID-19, the world is confronting this pandemic for the last 9 months or so. We have had very few cases in Dominica, but very importantly, we've had no deaths so far. And this is because of a very robust primary healthcare system, and also a very robust secondary and tertiary healthcare system. For a small country like ours, not to have had any deaths with regards to COVID-19 is no doubt a huge achievement for our health system and the leadership of our health system in Dominica.
The Commonwealth of Dominica is home to one of the world's most long-standing and popular citizenship by investment programs. What was the country's rationale for adopting its citizenship by investment program?
We established the Citizenship by Investment program in 1993. So it's a very long time now. And this was done for a number of reasons. Some of which is one, to boost foreign direct investment, to expand our then growing economy, and also to ensuring that we meet the demands of a very competitive world. I mean, you have a number of talented, resourceful, intelligent global citizens in various countries who want to have the opportunity to take advantage of opportunities which exist elsewhere other than in their country. Because the world now is a global village. Mobility is very important for some people, but there are countries where travel restrictions are placed with regards to visas, etc. And Dominica affords the global citizens the opportunity to have a Dominican citizenship and allow him or her and his family to move freely. This will also allow access to education opportunities. And one of the things that we also recognize, besides the foreign investments which come into our country, as a small nation, a member of the United Nations, we see this as our contribution to humanity, affording citizens of other countries the opportunity to be a citizen of our country, and providing that family with a greater sense of security, to ensure that opportunities for the children are better assured. And I know India very well. India is a wonderful country. Dominica and India have enjoyed exceptional relationships since 1978. We have had many cooperation agreements in a number of fields, and we continue to strengthen and deepen our bilateral relations with India. And so we are there to offer this opportunity to discerning citizens to become a citizen of Dominica. And we do so with open arms. Obviously, there is a very robust due diligence process because we have to ensure we protect ourselves as a nation, and we also protect the applicant who is applying to become a citizen of Dominica, and to give him the assurance as well that he is applying to become a citizen of a country that respects international law, which respects international norms and practices, and which is a law-abiding country as part of the global architecture.
His Excellency, for the benefit of our listeners who are unfamiliar with the Dominica Citizenship by Investment Program, can you describe the investment options that would qualify a person for citizenship?
There are two investment options under the Dominica Citizenship by Investment Program. First, there is a direct government fund, which is normally referred to as the EDF, where an applicant can apply, pay a one-time $100,000 as used by the government for national development and become citizen. Or secondly, an applicant can invest in a pre-approved real estate. And once that application is done and we go through due diligence, that person would qualify and become a citizen as well.
The latest edition of the CBI Index recently ranked Dominica as the world's best citizenship by investment program for the 4th consecutive year. How does Dominica retain this title year after year?
Well, firstly, the competitive threshold that we have is hard to beat. Basically, someone can invest and become a citizen for $100,000 US dollars. That is, if you go to the direct government investment, or $200,000 for a real estate. So it's difficult to beat that competitive threshold. But secondly, the Dominica program is straightforward and is accessible. Information is relayed to us through agents and who go through the files themselves and ensure that all the information that are required are submitted to us. Our website is updated on a consistent basis, and therefore the agents and even the applicants can get information from that area as well. We do not require any applicant to pass a language or a knowledge test of Dominica. You don't have to travel to Dominica. You don't have to fulfill any pre-mandatory residence requirement either. Thirdly, we are keen to include family members. We are a family-friendly program where an applicant can include your spouse, your children, your parents, the parents of your spouse, and even your siblings once they are under 25 and unmarried and without children. Fourthly, really, we provide a very strong product, a product that the industry knows. Citizenship of Investment have been around for a while, and in Dominica, we have had this program for the past 27 years. So clients and agents know our program. They know people who became citizens of Dominica, who have passed it on to their children and their grandchildren. So we are a program that's very well known by the industry, and that makes it very simple for us. Last but by no means least is, of course, our commitment to due diligence. We have a very strong due diligence process that is multi-layered. It includes vetting our names through intelligence organizations. It includes having the best due diligence firms around the world doing on-the-ground, boots-on-the-ground checks on every applicant. It includes vetting by our office, by our staff, who are themselves well-trained in doing that. So here we are, a program that has been around, a program that's family-friendly, a program that is easy to access, a program with a threshold that is unbeatable and unmatched, really. So I think for those reasons, we have been recognized as the best program in the world for the fourth consecutive year.
What does it mean to be committed to due diligence?
Dominica implements a due diligence process that is exhaustive and that involves many layers. It ranges from internal screening by our unit staff. It includes letting our agent do checks on the clients as well. Basically, we have 4 tiers of due diligence. We don't accept the applicants directly to us. You must go through an agent. The agent, in turn, must submit to us a know your client form that they know the person and have interfered with the person, and provide to us as well a world check on every applicant. Then we send our information to our intelligence unit, who verify with background checks on international organizations. They do that. Then we use the best due diligence firms around the world to ensure that the person who is applying is who exactly he or she is. They will check at your home, the industry where you work, the school where you went to, the community where you live, and provide us with boots on the ground intelligence on the individual. We believe that for us, we have a commitment to the international world to ensure that the people who are given citizenship in Dominica themselves are deserving of doing so, and that no crooks fall through the cracks.
Shifting our focus again to the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Obtaining citizenship of another country can be an emotional decision for some. It is certainly an important decision. Could you expand on why you think investors should look to the Commonwealth of Dominica for an alternative citizenship?
Our program has stood the test of time. We have been in existence, as I said earlier, since 1993. We have been subjected to international scrutiny by independent entities. We have been recognized as the best citizenship by investment program globally. Once you become a citizen of Dominica, so if my friends, my brothers and sisters from India were to apply to become Dominican citizens, they are successful, they can in fact pass on Dominican citizenship to their offsprings, to the children yet to be born. And this in large measure differentiates, because this is for us about family, about keeping families together. And letting you know as a new citizen of our country that really, this is not a second-class citizen. This is not a different category of citizen. The use of the term economic citizenship is really to define the program, but not to define the citizen. So once you become a citizen of Dominica, you are not considered to be an economic citizen of Dominica. You're considered to be a citizen of the Commonwealth of Dominica. And that citizenship is protected by our constitution and by laws passed in our parliament. So it cannot be arbitrarily taken away from you. There are certain grounds under which the citizenship can be revoked, one of which is if you provided false information during your application process. And as I said you can also be a dual citizen. Our laws, our constitution recognize dual citizenship, and so you can maintain dual citizenship. You have also a country, as I said, that is built on the rule of law. You have a right to own property in Dominica. That property is protected by the provisions in our constitution. The state cannot expropriate your property, cannot nationalize your property. And if the state were to acquire property, it must compensate you with market value. You have access to a robust healthcare system. Our literacy rate in Dominica is 96%. Every child in Dominica has access to primary education, secondary education, and tertiary education. We have 100% access to these layers of education in our country, and education in Dominica is free to all our citizens. And also this is a peaceful country. This is a safe country. And in a world of so many challenges and so many insecurities, Dominica, I believe, and I'm not saying so sincerely, not saying so because I'm the prime minister of the country, because it is a fact that Dominica is the safest country in the world. And we have a stable political system. We are a young democracy, but we're also a mature democracy. And there are many things which countries could look to us as a small nation in terms of good practices. And also very importantly, we have been at the vanguard of speaking about the effects of climate change and the way that climate change is impacting lives and livelihoods globally in all our countries, especially in the developing world. And of course, in regards to mobility, your ease of travel, Dominica is an internationally respected country. As we speak now, you can travel to 140 countries. The UN has 192 countries, so you can travel to 140 countries without requiring a visa. And by 2021, we intend to increase this to at least 160 countries. And in the next few years, hoping that we can get close to the 192 as close as possible. But notwithstanding the countries where you need visas, Dominicans are not denied visa applications to the countries where we need visas and so visas to travel. So your ability to move around the world is better assured for Dominican citizenship. And I mean, these are just a few reasons why you should apply to become a Dominican citizen. And as I've said before, for us, we appreciate the investments. We appreciate the foreign direct investment that's coming in. But from an ideological and philosophical standpoint, we see this also as making our small contribution to humanity, to providing comfort of the mind to so many families that are concerned about tomorrow and the future, and giving families an added opportunity to explore their dreams and aspirations. And also in respect to investments, you can invest in Dominica and be subjected to a wide range of concessions and incentives to do so.
You have spoken about business opportunities in your country. Could you please elaborate on the opportunities available?
Well, a number of opportunities. First of all, we have an economic partnership agreement with the European Union, which allows a wide range of concessions to export to the European Union with no tariffs imposed on it. So we have duty-free access to the European markets. And also Dominica is part of the Caribbean community and the free movement of goods. So any item that is manufactured in Dominica has duty-free access, unrestricted access to the rest of the Caribbean region. We also have a special trading arrangement with the United States of America, which allows for certain goods and services to have duty-free access to the entire American market. There are opportunities in Dominica for manufacturing. There are opportunities in Dominica in construction. There are opportunities in Dominica for agriculture and agricultural expansion and using innovation and technology in agriculture. There are opportunities in tourism, hotel construction, the construction of villas in Dominica. So, and of course, you are subjected and you have the opportunity to benefit from, as I said, a wide range of concessions. So we have the value-added tax, but part of the concession regime, you would be exempted from paying the value-added tax on the importation of your raw material, your machinery, your equipment. We allow for the repatriation of your profits and dividends. There are no restrictions on the repatriation of your dividends or your profits. We also respect in our constitution your right to property. And I said earlier, the state cannot expropriate your property. It cannot nationalize your property without due compensation. And of course, we are a safe country, as I indicated. And another important thing is that we do not have any death tax in Dominica. So if, God forbid, a member of your family would pass and they would have bequeathed to you properties, the state would not interfere in this process. There are no taxes imposed on this. And we do not tax your global income. We want everybody to be as rich as possible. And this is not a government that goes after people's global income. So there are a number of reasons that why I believe that you investing in Dominica is ideal, and Dominica is really suited for any discerning investor. And so we look forward to our dear friends, whom we've had such a long-standing and mutually beneficial relationship, a country which I have greatest admiration for, and the leadership of the country.
Are there any restrictions on new citizens in terms of running a business or making investments in the Commonwealth of Dominica?
We have zero restrictions, none. This is a free market economy, and we respect all the tenets and the principles of a free market economy. Once you are a citizen, or even if you're not a citizen, we welcome you. We're not only welcoming applications to become citizens of Dominica. If you want to invest in Dominica, you'll be given the same kind of respect, the same kind of treatment. The laws will protect your investments. The laws will protect your properties. So it's not only for citizens, but for non-citizens as well, who can invest in a wide range of areas. So there are no restrictions whatsoever on the ownership of businesses, and there are absolutely no restrictions on the owning of properties at all whatsoever. You can transact with your properties as you wish and as the market forces determine.
We would now like to procure some more information from Emmanuel Nanthan. Industry stakeholders have observed a shift in investor priorities since the onset of COVID-19. What can Dominica's Citizenship by Investment program offer investors in a post-pandemic world?
COVID-19 has highlighted the need for families to stay together. We felt that as a program, we wanted to look at what we could do to help in the program. And therefore, we allow applicants under the program to be able to include their spouse, to include minors, adult children up to the age of 30. You could include your parents or grandparents. You could also include siblings subject to the fulfillment of certain conditions. What makes Dominica stand out from the crowd is that the fact that any dependent can be related to either the main applicant or can be related to the spouse of the main applicant. No age restriction is in place for your parents or your grandparents. Dominica is the only country that allows spouse of qualifying parents and grandparents to be included in our application. Dominica is one of the only 3 countries that allow siblings to be added in our program right in Dominica. On real estates, in addition to family reunification, the Citizenship Investment Program also provides the opportunity to purchase real estates in a safe haven in a country that is growing with very good economic growth for the past 3 years for a minimum investment of $200,000 US. In Dominica, At present, we have 8 projects that have been approved as real estate programs for people to invest in and become citizens of Dominica. One is the Anishim Resort and Spa. That is a Marriott autograph collection product hotel. Marriott is the world's largest hotel chain, and they are building one of the highest level of the chain right here in Dominica, and are already committed to doing a second one in Dominica under the program as well. Then we have Cabbage Resort and Spa Kempinski, Europe's oldest hotel chain. They have already been opened, they have sold out, they have an approved project. We also have Wakotelet, which is a local product being done in a very historic part of Dominica. Then we have also Jungle Bay Villas, another hotel chain that is private, very high-end, high-chain hotel that's been done, a local grown product that's been done in Dominica. We have Tranquility Beach Resort. Tranquility Beach is a product of Hilton, and they're also building a hotel here in Dominica, progressing quite nicely. The villas at Secret Bay are being conducted under the program as well. This is another high-end product hotel that have won a number of awards for a number of years. They're open at present, but they're expanding and doing this under the program. So really and truly, we have a number of products that we offer to stakeholders. They're private sector hotels, they're owned by the investors. The government does not own shares, but because we deem the tourism sector and the hotel chain development as vital for Dominica's tourism expansion, we allow investors to invest in these hotel chains and also become citizens of Dominica. Timbo's apartment as well is also one of the products that we have that is approved in Dominica. So real estate in Dominica, the investor must only hold his investment, he must hold his investment to qualify for a minimum of 3 years. If you hold the investment for 5 years and he sells those investments, anyone who purchases from him themselves will qualify to be a citizen of Dominica once they go through and pass the rigorous due diligence checks.
In addition to the changes for main applicants and their families, the Commonwealth of Dominica also introduced new rules for post-citizenship additions. What are these rules and how do they benefit those who apply under the program?
Our post-citizenship addition regime affects people who are already citizens of Dominica by virtue of the program. For people who apply as a main applicant, it allows them to share citizenship with their family members who is dependent now and who was the dependent at the time of application. This encourages in the first year, the applicant could add with minimal cost, additional cost, the person could add, there's a grace period that allows someone to add their family members as time go along. If you do it after a year, then there's a fee that is charged for that. For anyone who applies and becomes a citizen through the program, whether a main applicant or a dependent at the time of the original application, it's also possible to apply for a newborn child for a minimum fee of really $500, but that's done for processing. But you could do that. You could also add your new spouse for a fee of around $75,000.
Shifting our focus again to the Honorable Prime Minister, which sectors are currently experiencing growth in the Commonwealth of Dominica?
There are a number of sectors experiencing growth in agriculture, in construction, in energy. We are pursuing vigorously green energy, renewable energy. We are working geothermal. We are in the process of constructing a geothermal plant, which will be the first in the Caribbean region that will supply a significant portion of our energy needs. And the second phase of that project will be a larger plant that will allow for export to 2 of our neighboring French territories of Guadeloupe and Martinique. Tourism, at the beginning of the year, they started to do very well. Obviously, COVID-19 has impacted it, but it was projected, and based on our bookings, our hotels would be in the 90s in terms of occupancy. But there are opportunities there. We accept that this is a difficult period for tourism, but we will overcome this particular challenge. The hope is that we can get back to be normal. Also, there are opportunities in water resources. We are known for natural spring water, fresh water, drinkable water, and there are opportunities there for the export of both bulk and bottled water. And of course, the government has a wide range of concessions in these areas. The other areas that the opportunities are in manufacturing. And I know India is well known for this in terms of its manufacturing and so forth. So there are opportunities in there for manufacturing. Also in health, because Dominica is known as the nature isle, because of our pristine and serene environment, because of our decades of protecting and preserving and conserving the environment, and because of the natural attributes that we have in terms of our freshness of the air, our rivers, our lakes, our hot springs, health and wellness is a major area of potential and existing growth. Telemedicine is an area which we often, of course, we have had excellent relationship with India in the area of medicine. There are some of our Dominicans who actually studied at Indian medical universities and who are here as medical doctors. As a matter of fact, our current Minister for Health studied in India. He attended a medical university in India, and he's currently our Minister for Health. And so we're looking to even strengthen that existing relationship with the government of India in the area of healthcare. So there are a wide range of opportunities where there are existing growth and potential growth for investments.
The Commonwealth of Dominica reopened its borders to international travel in August and a little before some other island nations in the Caribbean. What is the significance of travel to Dominicans?
We adopted a sort of a responsible approach to the management of COVID-19. And even during the peak periods of COVID-19, we never really fully closed our economy. We allowed a number of activities to take place. Construction was allowed. You could have access to supermarkets. You could have had access to public transportation, obviously with certain guidelines and protocols. Our cargo ports will have never been closed throughout the pandemic. And we have seen limited numbers. And the numbers that we've had, as I said, we were able to provide adequate facilities to treat, first of all, to test and to treat persons who were tested positive. And this is why we were able to open to visitors very early. We reopened our borders to visitors in the first week of August of this year. There have been no real challenges whatsoever at all. And we have even gone further, and we have defined what we term a safe tourism path. So tourists could come into a country and not be quarantined or isolated in a hotel room. They could go out in the public and enjoy the natural beauty of our country, go to the beaches, go to the rivers, go to the lakes, go hiking. So we have been able to craft very cleverly and responsibly a particular pathway to allow tourists to come in, and once they come in, to be able to enjoy in a safe manner, both to protect themselves and to protect our residents from COVID-19. And so a number of countries have learned from us because we're among the first to reopen our borders to tourists and visitors. And because we recognize that, look, many countries have engaged themselves in lockdowns, in curfews, in restrictions, and people want to breathe, people want to exhale. And we believe that we have an ideal product, especially in these times, if you're looking to release and relieve yourself of the stresses of COVID-19. And Dominica is indeed the ideal place to come in. We welcome in. We adhere to the World Health Organization protocols. Obviously, we have adapted some of them to our own situation in Dominica. But we have a robust health system. We have adequate staff to provide medical care to anybody who would be affected. And so far, it has been working very well. There are no intentions on our part to shut down the country or to go into any form of lockdown whatsoever. The economy has been fully reopened. We have students in schools. We're the first Caribbean country which allowed students to go back to the classroom physically, not online classroom, in the classroom, sitting on the desk. And our schools will reopen on the first week of September of this year. So every child in primary, in secondary, in tertiary, in early childhood institutions, they're all at school. Obviously, we have placed some very robust protocols and guidelines for teachers, for the buses, which transport the students, the parents, the students themselves. And thank God, so far, we have had no incident whatsoever. It's working very, very, very well for us. And we have been able to share some of our practices and policies in that regard to our brothers and sisters in the wider Caribbean.
Micah, how can a citizenship of a different nation be obtained?
In terms of citizenship by investment specifically, in the past 10 years, it's become quite a popular way of obtaining citizenship and grown in popularity due to the ease of process. Citizenship by investment, also referred to as CBI or economic citizenship, is the process where one obtains citizenship by making a substantial financial investment into a country. And there are only a handful of countries in the world that offer a legitimate program, and Dominica is one of those, probably one of the most prestigious citizenship by investment programs in the world.
Can you walk us through an example of why an Indian national would want to quickly obtain a different citizenship by investing in the Commonwealth of Dominica? Of
course. Well, I mean, we've heard from the Prime Minister and Ambassador Nanthan, the reasons and the platform of why Dominica is so popular. Over the years, I've helped a number of Indian businessmen. So, for example, I'll draw an example of a typical applicant, a young upcoming entrepreneur in the technology industry with businesses all around the world. They're setting up companies in Europe and the UK. They're selling their technology in Singapore and Hong Kong. But they tend to always get unstuck with the laborious and expensive process applying for visa after visa. So the real question here to the listeners is, what is the real opportunity cost of being denied a visa or being delayed in getting your visa and missing out on that critical deal, or whatever other opportunity costs that come along with not being able to have that freedom of access? So I truly believe that obtaining citizenship from Dominica is life-changing. I mean, I have my clients call me after a few months from receiving their documents to say thank you for transforming their lives. And it's not just from a business perspective, but also personally. As we've heard, Dominica is very inclusive, including a wide range of family members. So we see that, the spouse can go and visit the children who are at university or boarding school abroad, or parents can travel to Singapore for ease of access to top medical facilities there. So with a visa-free to over 75% of the world's countries, Dominica opens up doors for businessmen and their families.
Those Indians who become citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica must give up their Indian citizenship under the Indian law. What can they do to retain a strong connection with India?
So there's a practical and a philosophical answer to this question. In practice, my clients tend to apply for the OCI card, which is the Overseas Citizen of Indian card, which provides a lifelong right to travel and stay in India without limitation. The process is seamless, with an online application taking a few months. Philosophically, I think that's a different question, because the decision to change one's document does not change one's identity, and certainly doesn't override one's loyalty to one's roots. So I think in conclusion, in a globalized world, smart businessmen understand that the decision to obtain an alternative citizenship is a lifelong opportunity that can be passed on from generation to generation.
Just as a closing note, Honorable Prime Minister, would you like to add something to this discussion for the Indian citizens?
Well, I want to thank you very much, the Economic Times of India, for facilitating this interview. It's my pleasure, and I look forward to doing so again. I want to wish your country well as we continue to fight this pandemic and the economic fallout that it has created for all of us in this world. We believe that we can overcome this challenge through multilateralism, and India is known for this level of cooperation, and also to recognize the extraordinary efforts of CS Global. CS Global is a very treasured partner of Dominica in regards to the CBI, the professional individuals with a wide range of skill sets that are relevant to this industry, and the guidance that they have continued to provide to us has been exceptional in ensuring that our program remains the #1 program in the world, and we maintain a very robust due diligence process. So I want to thank all of you and have a wonderful evening.
Ambassador, sir, would you like to add something?
Thank you very much for having us. The Prime Minister has extended adequate thank on our behalf to you and the people of India and CS Global for a very good program. Thank you for having us. We look forward to working together in the future. Thank you.
Micah, any last thoughts?
Well, firstly, I would like to extend an extra heartfelt thank you to the Prime Minister and to Ambassador Nanthan. It's very early in the morning there in Dominica, so we're very grateful that they're able to join us. To the nationals of India, all I can say from a personal point of view, the moment I stepped on Dominica, I fell very much in love with the country. It is truly one of the most beautiful countries I've ever visited, and certainly felt very welcome. So I would invite all your listeners to explore more about this opportunity. So thank you very much.
With this, we have come to an end of this discussion. I would like to thank Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit for taking our time from his busy schedule this morning in Dominica and sharing his intuitive thoughts on planning your family's future with citizenship by investing in Dominica. We were also honored to have with us Emmanuel Nanthan as he delved deep into explaining the various distinctions of the program and how it could be a profitable venture. Last but not the least, we are grateful to Micah Emmett, CEO of CS Global Partners, for briefing us about the concept of being a global citizen and what procedures Indians need to follow. Thank you so much, all of you, and thank you for listening. Goodbye.